What if I told you the secret to less stress, more focus, and a happier life only takes 10 minutes a day? Hi, everyone. My name is Felix, and I'm here to help you expand your consciousness, simplify your mind, and live your life with less stress and more joy. Today, we're talking about the big one. We're talking about meditation, its effects, what it does for you, and how to even to do it. Do you regularly deal with stress, anxiety, depression, trouble sleeping, poor pain management, mood swings, concentration, focus, high blood pressure, or even addiction? Well, you might want to keep watching. We're going to talk about meditation, what it can do for you, how simple it is, how easy it is, and the upsides and the downsides. But I'm going to go ahead and skip to this part. There are literally no downsides to meditation. It's quite possibly the best thing you can ever do for yourself. It'll help you to take the power back into your life so you can be the person you prefer to be. With how fast paced life has been, it's really easy to get distracted, disconnected, and even super stressed by everything that's going on. I'm really excited to talk about this. It's something I've been doing for years and years and years, and it honestly opened a massive door in my life, a massive door in my head. It's taught me a skill that I've been using every day since: introspection. It actually teaches you the proper way to do it. And it's not even something that someone needs to teach you. Just you choosing to be there, giving the respect to the practice, it'll open up all these doors for you and teach it to you itself. And this isn't just something I said or something I found on the internet. This is proven by science. There's plenty of facts out there. There's a Harvard study that said a regular practice of meditation can help improve empathy and memory in your head. Meditation is also used to reduce the cortisol levels in your brain. And cortisol is the stress inducing hormone. Really helps you to take the time to step back into the present moment and be here now instead of in that tense meeting you're going to have in a few seconds, or sticking with the event of that person in the car almost hitting you. Let's address a few common misconceptions real quick. Meditation isn't about stopping your thoughts. Your thoughts will never stop. It's about observing your thoughts, neutralizing them, and letting them go. There's also, you don't need hours of practice. You just maybe need minutes a day. You just need to be able to respect the practice and offer your time to it. Time is the most valuable thing we can offer. So choosing to give that to the practice, it really shows your dedication to wanting to improve. And then I'm sure you've seen people on the internet saying you need a big fancy spot, like a big cushion or anything. You don't even really need that. All you need is a quiet spot where you're not going to be disturbed for about 10 minutes. You can get a cushion, you can get a pillow, something that will allow you to sit up straight, or you can even just lie on your bed. Whatever it takes to be able to completely fully relax and take yourself out of the body and into the mind. This practice really is about strengthening the mind. It's like a muscle. You can go to the gym and work out your arms, but you can sit down for 10 minutes a day and work out your mind too. Let's go over how to do it. So, there are many different kinds of meditation. The meditation I'm kind of talking about is just mindfulness meditation, where you can sit there and observe the mind, see your thoughts come and let them go. Don't associate with them, don't see them as positive or negative, just see them as neutral. Really, all you need to do is find a quiet place. So let's get into the how to. First, you need a cushion. You need maybe a bed, something you can sit up on. You don't need to sit up on the bed. You can lay down on the bed, but the bed is, you're more likely to get distracted and maybe even fall asleep. I've done that a few times. I feel like the best way to do it is grab a cushion and sit down on that. The technique we're using here for sitting is you're you're going to sit down cross-legged, but you want your knees lower than your hips. You can try this without doing it, stacking your knees on top of your legs, but you'll find that it's a lot harder to sit up straight. When you can spread your legs and put your knees on the floor, then your back will be more reinforced, making it easier to sit up straight. And that's pretty important because we don't want bad posture during this, because you're sitting there for like 10 minutes. That's kind of a lot of compound time. And then next, we're going to look into what's called focused attention. So the idea is that we're going to sit and we're going to focus on one thing. Typically, teachers, they try to say, focus on your breath, because it's a thing that you will always have with you no matter what. And when they say focus on your breath, they're not saying you need to breathe. They're more saying the body is going to breathe on its own. It's going to do what it's going to do regardless of how you feel or what you want it to do. So you'll always have that to fall back on. You can watch the breath as it comes in. You can watch it as it goes out. There's plenty of ways to this too. There's the act of breathing. There's the feeling of the air as it enters your nose, as it leaves your nose. There's the emptying of the body. There's a lot of things you can focus on. However, this doesn't really work for me too often because of the way my mind works. So I like to use music. I like to use what's called solfeggio tones, and you can even find these on YouTube. There's specific music behind a specific tone at like 528 hertz, 639 hertz, 963 hertz that are meant to inspire certain brainwave activities. And the thing is, there'll be music around these tones. The tone is always static in the background, even though the music might overshadow it sometimes. The thing I do is I like to focus on this tone and stick with it. But the challenge that comes to this, the part that makes meditation hard and makes people say, I can't do it, it's too hard, is that the mind doesn't really appreciate you trying to do it very much, because the mind's used to running, it's used to racing in your head, it's used to trying to tell you what to do it all the time. So when you try to calm it, it tends to get aggravated. And then through this, it's going to throw a lot of things at you. The challenge of meditation is to see these thoughts, recognize them as neutral. They're not positive, they're not negative. Even if you feel like they're bad or they're good, they're just neutral, and move on, push them past, and then return to a place of focus. And this is going to be really hard at times. Really, the challenge of meditation is to notice when this happens and to come back. It's going to be really hard at first. You might get distracted for like 5 minutes at a time, 3 minutes at a time. I know sometimes I got distracted for like 7 minutes in a meditation. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? I'm doing this, I'm supposed to be here. But the more you do it, the easier it is to realize that you're distracted. And this helps you in your daily lives, because the mind is always influencing everything we do. And by doing this, you gain the power to stop the mind in its tracks and say, is that something I really prefer to do, or do I want to do this other thing? And that's something you get to take with you every day, all day. Now let's look at there's a few apps I have. I have two different apps actually. One is called Headspace, where they have guided meditations. There's a guy who used to be a monk who's now a meditation teacher who will he'll guide you through the meditations. He's what I used when I started, because a friend told me, like, if you're so distracted, why don't you try meditation? I was like, sure, I guess. I got nothing to lose. You actually have nothing to lose. So Headspace has a 30-day free trial where you can just use the app for 30 days and see how it feels, maybe get a feel for how meditation, the process goes. And then once that's done, I have another app called Insight Timer. It used to just be a meditation timer, but now they have guided meditations. Now they have courses and like a social media outlet, so where you can talk to other people who are trying to do this. But the most important thing for me is they have a timer that you can set to any time. Say normally you do 10 minutes, but you can only do 7 right now. That's perfect. Set a 7-minute timer, and they even have like a bell that rings when you're done, like how all the monks would do, like the bong. Honestly, and coming from the heart, if you do this, and if it's something you do every day, maybe as soon as you wake up, maybe before you go to bed, it will change your life. It took me about 3 weeks for the doors to open up and to me realize what it actually did. It took 3 weeks of me just dedicating myself to a practice that I didn't actually even know the results to. But I have no regrets. It set me on a path that I've been more happy, I've been more fulfilled than I ever have been. And I would never trade that for anything. It honestly is the best thing you can do for yourself. It's the most free thing you can do for yourself. It's the easiest thing you can do for yourself. But the mind is so ready to say, we don't need this. This is dumb. You should stop. The mind doesn't want you to do it because the mind doesn't want to lose power over you. And this is the thing you have to recognize. Meditation at any time will always try to teach you things. But I had a problem where I would sit down and I just couldn't focus at all. I couldn't focus on the thing. I'd get distracted every 2 seconds. The mind would say, this is dumb, let's stop. Or like my body would even start hurting from like how I was sitting down. But these are all things you can just become aware of, all things that you can just notice. Like all of this is neutral. Everything in life inherently is neutral. The only things that have meaning are the things that we assign meaning to. And that's super important to know, because if everything is neutral, then nothing really is special. And meditation is a neutrality practice, actually. These are super incredibly important to have, to take yourself out of the hustle and bustle of this is good, this is bad, I need to do this, I shouldn't do that, and just come from a neutral place. Just try 5 minutes today. or even 3 minutes. When I first started, I did 3 minute meditations for like the first 5 days, then I moved on to five, and then I moved on to 10. When I did it for the first time, I was like, this is amazing. I need to keep doing this. But I wasn't gonna do it like 12 times a day or something. I was just doing it while I was at work when I had time in between my tasks. So yeah, do it 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Start off breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just to get yourself from a place of calm, from a place of grounding. Don't judge the thoughts as they come up in your mind. Just see them as neutral, let them go, and choose to stay where you are in your method of focus. And believe me, committing to like 10 days of meditation will change your life. It'll open the doors to understanding your mind, to understanding yourself, to being able to love yourself more. And there's literally no downsides, there's only positive. Meditation is the simplest act with the greatest impact. The best investment you'll ever make is in your own peace of mind. Thanks, guys. My name is Felix. I hope to make plenty more of these. This is video number 5, and I really hope this helps. Please comment down below if what you've learned through this, if you chose to start a meditation practice. Remember to like, subscribe, maybe even share it for your friends if you found this helpful. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you.